Admiral Rodriguez, her dress uniform adorned with the simple gold insignia of Earth's Unified Command, stood before the massive viewport of Unity Station. Behind her, representatives from 17 human nations waited in disciplined silence. Before her, the coalition delegation approached along the transparent walkway, their movements hesitant, almost fearful. "They still expect a trap," murmured General Chen, standing at her side. Rodriguez nodded slightly. "After what we've shown them, they expect us to behave as they would in victory." The station itself represented a masterpiece of human engineering, constructed in orbit around Earth in just 6 weeks using reverse-engineered coalition technology combined with human innovation. Its design deliberately incorporated elements from all 7 coalition species' architectural traditions, a subtle psychological message that humans had studied their cultures thoroughly. Ambassador Vextrol, who had once smugly informed Captain Rodriguez of humanity's scheduled pacification, now led the coalition delegation with visible unease. His triple-slit breathing apparatus fluttered with rapid respiration, a sign of stress in his species. "Admiral Rodriguez," he began formally, "the Coalition Council has authorized me to finalize terms of armistice." "Not armistice," Rodriguez corrected gently. "Alliance." Confusion rippled through the alien delegation. The Kresh military representative stepped forward, aggression hormones creating the distinct odor. "You have us at disadvantage. Your terms should demand our subjugation, yet you speak of alliance." Rodriguez gestured toward the viewport, where Earth rotated serenely below. "Look at our world. Throughout our history, we've fought ourselves constantly. We've nearly destroyed our civilization multiple times. We understand the cost of prolonged conflict better than any species in the coalition." She activated a holographic display showing trade projections, technological exchange programs, and cultural integration initiatives. "Humanity doesn't want subjects. We want partners." The coalition representatives studied the proposals with stunned silence. Where they had expected humiliating reparations, they found equitable trade agreements. Where they anticipated military occupation, they discovered mutual defense pacts. "There is one non-negotiable condition," Rodriguez continued, her voice hardening slightly. "The coalition will be restructured as a true federation of equals. No species will hold dominance over another, including humanity." Understanding dawned on the Valari philosopher commander. "You're not simply ending this war. You're preventing the next one." "Precisely," Rodriguez confirmed. "Humanity has spent millennia learning this lesson the hard way. We have no desire to repeat our mistakes on a galactic scale." As the treaty hologram awaited final authorization, Ambassador Vextrol appeared troubled. "Your species has demonstrated unprecedented martial capability. Your enhanced soldiers, your adapted technology, your psychological warfare. You could have conquered us completely. Why choose this path?" Rodriguez exchanged glances with General Chen before answering. "Because we've learned that true victory isn't measured by what you destroy, but by what you build." She extended her hand in the human gesture of agreement. "The question is whether the coalition has the wisdom to learn the same lesson without centuries of needless bloodshed." After a moment's hesitation, Vextrol extended his own appendage to complete the gesture. Around them, representatives of both humanity and the coalition watched as the most fearsome conflict in recent galactic history ended not with surrender, but with understanding. The terrible peace had begun. Terrible not in its conditions, but in what it revealed, that all the suffering could have been avoided with simply taking time to understand one another first. Captain Rice stood on the bridge of Nemesis, humanity's first faster-than-light vessel, watching the holographic display as they approached the coalition capital world. The massive ringed planet loomed ahead, its orbiting megastructures glittering like jewels against the darkness of space. "Stealth systems holding," reported Lieutenant Commander Okafor. "Their defense grid still registers us as a coalition diplomatic vessel." Reyes nodded, impressed by how thoroughly the human intelligence teams had exploited the captured identification codes. The Nemesis, named for the Greek goddess of retribution, maintained a perfect masquerade, its true nature concealed beneath layers of technological deception. "Deploy the drones," Rise ordered. "Begin transmission on all coalition frequencies." From the vessel's launch bays, thousands of small autonomous drones dispersed, each carrying a specialized broadcast package. As they spread throughout the coalition capital system, they began transmitting their contents, not destructive weapons or invasive code, but something far more devastating: the unfiltered truth of humanity. On the coalition capital world, civilians of 7 different species watched in confusion as their communication systems were overridden. Their screens filled with images of human history: the ruins of ancient Rome, the rebuilding of cities after World War I, the recovery from natural disasters, medical breakthroughs born from pandemics. In the Coalition War College, military cadets stared in horror at footage of human combat training, their exercises more intense than actual coalition warfare. They watched documentaries of special forces selection processes where humans voluntarily endured suffering beyond anything the alien species could comprehend. "Second phase," Rise commanded. The drone's broadcast shifted to human entertainment. Thousands of years of storytelling focused on conflict, resilience, and overcoming impossible odds. The aliens witnessed humans spending their leisure time imagining war, disaster, and alien invasions, mentally rehearsing scenarios that coalition species found traumatic even to contemplate. On the bridge, Dr. Chen, the xenopsychologist, monitored the coalition communications networks. "It's working," she reported. "Their civilian networks are overloading with panic responses. Their military channels show command confusion." The most powerful segments of the broadcast featured humanity's speculative fiction, centuries spent imagining first contact scenarios, alien invasions, and interstellar warfare. The coalition leaders watched in dawning horror as they realized humanity had been psychologically preparing for this exact conflict for generations before they ever reached space. "We're receiving a direct communication request from the Coalition Supreme Council," Okafor announced. Ray straightened her uniform. "Put them through." The holographic projector revealed the coalition leaders, their body language conveying universal dismay across species barriers. The Valari representative spoke first, voice harmonics indicating profound distress. "What do you want from us?" the alien asked. Ray allowed a moment of silence before responding. "Understanding. You attacked us because you feared what you didn't comprehend. Now you begin to comprehend, and your fear is justified." She uploaded the final portion of the human message. Footage of Earth's unified military forces preparing for deployment, enhanced soldiers moving with impossible speed, and the construction facilities where 5 more vessels like Nemesis neared completion. "We're not here to destroy you," Rice continued. "We're here to educate you. The Coalition has one standard cycle to consider terms for peace. After that, humanity will demonstrate its full capabilities." As the transmission ended, Nemesis disappeared into FTL, leaving behind only uncertainty and fear, weapons more devastating than any bomb. Dr. Layla Patel moved among the rows of transformation pods, each containing a soldier undergoing the controlled neural enhancement process. The laboratory deep beneath the Atacama Desert hummed with activity as medical staff monitored vital signs and neural patterns on holographic displays. "Status report on Battalion 7, she asked her assistant, Dr. Riviera. "Extraordinary results, Doctor. Enhancement uptake at 97% effectiveness. Combat reflexes improved by an average of 68%. Sensory processing speeds nearly doubled." Patil nodded, stopping to examine one particular pod where a soldier, his nameplate reading Alvarez, C, showed even more remarkable readings. "The Coalition's weapon was brilliantly designed," she admitted. "The neural pathogen specifically targeted human emotional regulation centers. They expected to create docile slaves. Instead, they created their worst nightmare," Riviera said, unable to hide a note of pride. When the Coalition had deployed their biological agent 3 weeks earlier, They had expected mass surrender. Instead, Paddle's team had immediately recognized the pathogen's potential. Rather than neutralizing it completely, they had modified it, channeling its effects away from the submission centers of the brain and toward combat enhancement pathways already present in human neurophysiology. "The irony is perfect," Paddle remarked. "Their own research into human biology revealed our neural plasticity, but failed to understand its implications. They saw adaptability as vulnerability." A military officer entered the laboratory, his uniform bearing the insignia of Earth's Unified Defense Command. "Dr. Patel, General Chen requests an update on the enhanced battalion's readiness." "The first 3 battalions are fully processed and combat-ready," she reported. "Battalions 4 through 7 will be operational within 36 hours. Psychological stability is holding at acceptable levels." That had been the greatest challenge, managing the increased sensory input and accelerated thought processes without inducing psychosis. The solution had come from an unexpected source: meditation techniques combined with specialized neural feedback training. "And the secondary effect?" the officer asked. Patel's expression grew serious. "Confirmed. The enhanced soldiers are developing limited telepathic bonding within their units. Nothing like true mind reading, but a form of combat synchronization we never anticipated." She led the officer to a training chamber where an enhanced squad moved through combat drills with uncanny coordination, responding to threats before they fully materialized, adjusting to each other's movements with perfect precision. "The Coalition intended to subdue us with elegant bioengineering," Paddle said. "Instead, they've accidentally accelerated human evolution." Her tablet chimed with an incoming message from the scientific team examining the captured Coalition vessel. The translation appeared on screen. "FTL drive principles decoded. Prototype construction underway." Patel turned to the officer. "Inform General Chen that Operation Nemesis can proceed on schedule. The enhanced soldiers will be ready for deployment on the first human faster-than-light vessel." As the officer departed, Patel returned to monitoring the pods. The Coalition had unleashed a biological weapon expecting submission. In response, humanity had embraced transformation. It was a pattern as old as the species, turning attacks into advantages, poisons into medicines, threats into opportunities. "Begin preparation for battalions 8 through 12, she instructed her team. "The next phase is about to begin." Ambassador Ileana Santos watched the holographic projections of the Coalition Council meeting, her trained eyes catching every subtle movement and expression among the alien representatives. Her team of synopsychologists and linguists sat nearby, annotating the footage in real time. "The Valari delegate is showing signs of extreme stress," noted Dr. Patel, the team's lead cynobiologist. "See how the cranial ridges have darkened. Their species physically manifests ethical distress." Santos nodded. "And the Kresh representative is practically vibrating with aggression. They're losing patience with the measured approach." The Coalition's Emergency Council session had been intercepted by human intelligence assets, surveillance nanites delivered during the Phantom Team operations. What had been intended as a unified response to human resistance was devolving into factional dispute. Supreme Commander Zex's translated voice filled the room. "The humans must be suppressed immediately. I propose deployment of stellar converters against their moon. The psychological impact would." "Genocide is not the Coalition way," interrupted the Valari representative, Philosopher Commander Threll. "Our charter explicitly forbids the extinction of sentient species." "This conflict was initiated under false pretenses," Thrall continued, voice resonating with harmonics that indicated moral certainty. "Our assessment of human aggression was based on historical records without context. Their internal conflicts do not predict their interspecies behavior." Santos turned to her communications specialist. "Is the Morith channel secure?" "Yes, Ambassador. Encrypted and untraceable. Send the proposal package now, while the Council is divided." With a simple command, humanity's carefully crafted message was transmitted to the Morith homeworlds, Detailed scans showing how coalition resource allocation had systematically disadvantaged their water-rich planets, alongside an offer for exclusive trade rights with Earth. On the holographic display, the coalition meeting deteriorated further. "The humans have captured 7 of our vessels intact," the Kresh military director snarled. "Their technological advancement is accelerating exponentially. Every day we delay total war is a strategic failure." Commander Zex attempted to restore order. "The coalition has never faced unified resistance of this." The transmission suddenly split into multiple feeds as several coalition members initiated private communications outside the council chamber. The human intelligence team scrambled to track and decode these splinter conversations. "It's working," Santos said with quiet satisfaction. "Operation Divide is proceeding exactly as predicted." Her aide approached with a secure tablet. "Ambassador, we've received a response from the Morith Central Authority. They're requesting direct negotiation, outside coalition protocols." Santos allowed herself a brief smile. "And the Clary? Their mining consortium has expressed interest in our heavy metal exchange program." The ambassador stood, straightening her formal diplomatic uniform. "Prepare my shuttle. It seems I'll be conducting peace negotiations while the war continues." She glanced at the holographic display where coalition representatives now openly argued. Humanity doesn't need to defeat the entire coalition. Just convince enough of them that peace is more profitable than war. As Santos left the room, the coalition supreme commander's frustrated voice echoed behind her. "Without unity, we cannot contain the human threat." Precisely the point, Santos thought. Captain Rhea Sharma moved through the alien vessel like a ghost, her phantom team following in perfect formation. Their exosuits, coated with light-absorbing material, rendered them nearly invisible against the dark corridors of the coalition cruiser. The only sound was their measured breathing through rebreathers designed to leave no condensation. "Junction ahead," whispered Lieutenant Cole through their secure comms. "Biosigns indicate 4 hostiles." Sharma raised a closed fist, halting the team. She activated her helmet's specialized sensors, analyzing the alien life forms around the corner. The data flowed directly into her neural implant, providing instant tactical assessment. 2 Kresh, 1 Valari, 1 unidentified species, she reported. Standard security detail. Non-combat specialists. She made a series of hand signals, directing her team into position. The coalition security team never saw what hit them. Sharma's squad deployed non-lethal sonic weapons, calibrated specifically to disrupt the neural patterns of the identified species. The aliens collapsed, unconscious but alive. "Tag and bag," Sharma ordered. Her team attached small tracking devices to the aliens before moving on. Every encountered coalition member was catalogued, their biological data added to humanity's rapidly expanding knowledge base. As they approached the ship's engine room, Specialist Zhang accessed a data terminal using tools reverse-engineered from the coalition vessel captured in the Mars engagement. "Captain, I've accessed their internal communications. The coalition fleet is in disarray. 3 more of their ships have gone dark in the past hour." Sharma nodded with satisfaction. Other Phantom teams were executing similar missions throughout the blockade. "What about their distress signals?" "Being intercepted and suppressed," Zhang confirmed. "As far as their command knows, these ships are experiencing communication malfunctions, not boarding actions." They reached the engine room door, where Corporal Diaz placed a device against the alien control panel. The door slid open silently, revealing a vast chamber humming with energy. 3 coalition engineers turned in surprise. "Non-lethal only," Sharma reminded her team as they entered. "We need them intact." The coalition engineers offered no resistance, their species unaccustomed to close-quarters confrontation. One attempted to trigger an alarm but collapsed mid-motion from a precisely aimed stun blast. "Secure the room and begin the download," Sharma ordered. Her team moved with practiced efficiency, attaching specialized devices to the engine controls. The technology, a marvel of faster-than-light capability, began yielding its secrets to human analysis. Lieutenant Cole approached, holding up a small data crystal. "Captain, we've accessed their navigation charts. Complete maps of Coalition space." Sharma's eyes gleamed behind her visor. "Perfect. Begin controlled shutdown of non-essential systems. Prepare the package for the engine core." The package was a human AI system designed to infiltrate and subtly corrupt the Coalition vessel's operating system. Not enough to disable it, but enough to create exploitable vulnerabilities for future operations. As her team worked, Sharma activated her helmet camera, recording every detail of the alien technology for Earth's engineers. The Coalition had expected humanity to cower behind their planetary defenses, not to turn the hunters into the hunted. "Command, this is Phantom Lead," she transmitted. "Package delivery in progress. We're bringing home the keys to their kingdom." Commander Aisha Okoro watched the Coalition formations through her neural interface, the enemy ships appearing as red markers against the black canvas of space. Her squadron, call sign Wraith, maintained perfect radio silence, their vessels powered down to minimal life support as they drifted among the debris field that once constituted Earth's public-facing satellite network. "Patience," she subvocalized to her pilots, the message transmitted through their neural implants rather than detectable radio waves. "Let them commit." The Coalition's initial bombardment had been precise, targeting what their intelligence identified as Earth's military command centers. They had no way of knowing these facilities were elaborate decoys, constructed specifically to draw enemy fire and reveal their weapons capabilities. Now came their secondary attack wave, aimed at what they believed were Earth's defensive installations. The Coalition vessels moved with mathematical precision, their formation optimized by artificial intelligences that had never faced human unpredictability. "Their clustering," Okoro noted. "Formation suggests confidence, no expectation of resistance." She allowed herself a small smile. "Perfect." The commander sent the activation signal. Throughout the solar system, the electromagnetic shields, technology derived from studies of Earth's magnetosphere, flickered to life. The Coalition energy weapons struck these fields and dissipated harmlessly, their operators confused by readings that showed direct hits but no damage. "Wraith Squadron, execute Maneuver Hornet's Nest," Okoro commanded. 24 small fighters, previously indistinguishable from space debris, simultaneously powered up. Their engines flared to life as they accelerated toward the Coalition formation from multiple vectors. On the Coalition command ship, Admiral Zextar watched in confusion as human vessels appeared seemingly from nowhere. "Impossible," he hissed through triple-slit breathing apparatus. "Our scans detected no powered craft in this sector." The first volley of human weapons struck before the Coalition could reorganize. Unlike the energy weapons favored by the galactic community, these were simple mass drivers, electromagnetically accelerated tungsten rods that punched through Coalition shields designed to disperse energy rather than stop physical objects. Aboard her fighter, Okoro executed a corkscrew maneuver that would have killed any pilot without extensive simulator training and genetic modifications to withstand key forces. Her target, a Coalition support vessel, loomed ahead. "Target locked," she confirmed, releasing a swarm of micro-missiles that attached to the alien ship's hull. Rather than exploding, they began drilling, seeking vital systems. Across the battlefield, her squadron executed similar attacks, each vessel moving with a controlled recklessness that the Coalition tactical computers struggled to predict. "Their formations are breaking," reported Lieutenant Kagawa, his fighter slicing between two Coalition cruisers. "They're attempting to retreat." "Negative," Okoro countered. "They're regrouping. Standard Kresh military doctrine. Draw back. Analyze. Return with optimized response." She opened a secure channel to Earth Command. Phase 1 complete. Enemy capabilities confirmed. Requesting permission for Phase 2. General Chen's voice came through clearly. "Permission granted, Commander. Bring us a souvenir." Okoro's expression hardened as she relayed orders to her squadron. "Select Target Alpha, The command vessel. All units converge. We're going hunting. The human fighters accelerated toward the retreating coalition flagship, their pilots' eyes gleaming with the thrill of the chase. General Chen Wei stood in the command center beneath the Himalayas, a facility whose existence was known to fewer than 200 humans. Around him, officers moved with practiced efficiency, their faces showing determination rather than fear. The massive central display showed thousands of activation codes turning green as humanity's hidden defenses came online. Nanofactory conversion at 63%, reported Colonel Dias, sliding a tablet across the brushed steel table. Civilian industrial output will be weaponized within 72 hours. Chen nodded, his weathered face betraying no emotion. And the orbital platforms. Shedding their satellite disguises now, sir. The coalition observers believe they're witnessing communication array maintenance. The general allowed himself a small smile. For decades, politicians had publicly slashed military budgets while secretly funneling resources into protocol thermopylae. Every new civilian technology had its shadow counterpart, weather satellites doubling as kinetic weapon platforms, commercial space stations concealing fighter bays, even the global entertainment network serving as a backup military communication system. What's the status of the Lazarus units? Chen asked, referring to the specialized combat mechs developed using technology reverse-engineered from fragments of alien craft recovered in the 2030s. Ready for pilot integration, sir. The gaming tournament winners have been extracted from their civilian lives and are being briefed as we speak. For 20 years, the world's most popular virtual reality combat games had secretly doubled as training programs, identifying and honing the reflexes of potential pilots. Players who thought they were competing for sponsorships and prize money had actually been preparing for this moment. Chen walked to a separate display showing coalition ships in Earth orbit. They're holding position, studying our response. Classic strategic hesitation. They expect panic in the streets, Major Okonkwo observed. Mass chaos as governments attempt to explain the situation. Instead, we've enacted the seamless transition. Chen gestured to footage of major cities, where life continued normally despite the looming threat above. Through careful information control, the public believed they were experiencing a planned emergency preparedness drill. Essential personnel were being quietly moved to secure locations while automated defense systems took their positions. A young lieutenant approached with an update. Sir, Rodriguez's data package has been fully analyzed. The Coalition's biological assessment of human capabilities contains critical errors. What kind of errors? Chen asked. They've misinterpreted our adrenaline response as a fear mechanism rather than a combat enhancement, and they believe our psychological need for entertainment indicates attention deficiency rather than thousands of years spent imagining every possible conflict scenario. Chen finished. Typical. They studied us as specimens, not warriors. The facility rumbled slightly as massive underground hangar doors opened, revealing rows of aircraft unlike anything publicly known. The first wave of humanity's response force. Chen addressed his command staff with quiet confidence. The Coalition believes they're facing a fragmented, unprepared species. By the time they realize their mistake, it will be too late. Humanity doesn't fear the unknown. We prepare for it. He turned to the communications officer. Send the coded message to all sleeper cells embedded in deep space listening posts. Thunderbolt is drawn. Across Earth and throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden teeth were bared, ready to bite. The emergency alarms blared throughout the shuttle as Captain Maya Rodriguez fought to stabilize their descent toward Earth. Blood trickled from a gash above her eye, but she paid it no mind. Behind her, the diplomatic team huddled in terror as Coalition energy beams sliced through space around them. Deploying countermeasures, announced Lieutenant Park, his fingers dancing across the control panel. A cloud of reflective particles erupted from the rear of their vessel, momentarily confusing the Coalition targeting systems. Rodriguez gripped the controls tighter as the shuttle shuddered violently. Send the evidence now. Don't wait for planetfall. Dr. Eliza Chen, the the xenobiologist, was already connecting the data drives to the emergency broadcast system. Her hands trembled, but her voice remained steady, transmitting on all frequencies. Encryption protocol Sierra 9 active. The images they had captured would reach Earth minutes before they did, if they survived at all. The holographic war room, the detailed invasion plans, the biological assessments of human physiology marked with weaknesses to exploit. Most stunning was the recorded confession of Ambassador Vextrol. Your species represents an unacceptable variable. The coalition requires certainty. The shuttle lurched as a glancing hit from a coalition vessel scorched their port side. Smoke began filling the cabin. They're hurting us, Rodriguez realized aloud, noting the pattern of the attacks. They don't want to destroy us. They want to capture us. Professor Marcus Williams, the linguistics specialist, looked up from tending to an injured colleague. Why would they? Information control, Rodriguez cut him off. If we die in an accident, Earth investigates. If we simply disappear, she didn't need to finish the thought. The coalition had planned this meticulously. The grand tour of their space station, the seemingly generous technological offerings, the elaborate dinners where they studied human reactions to various stimuli, all while plotting Earth's subjugation. Rodriguez made a decision. New trajectory. We're not heading to the rendezvous point. Captain, Park questioned, even as he prepared to input new coordinates. They'll have forces waiting at our scheduled landing site. We're going dark. She punched in the authorization code that activated their experimental stealth system, a technology they had deliberately concealed from the coalition during pre-mission disclosures. The shuttle's exterior panels shifted, absorbing rather than reflecting light. Their heat signature dispersed through specialized vents, making them nearly invisible to standard sensors. In the sudden quiet as the coalition weapons fire ceased, Rodriguez addressed her team. The coalition believes they know everything about humanity from our broadcasts, our literature, our shared history. Their arrogance will be their downfall. They studied our past, but failed to understand our nature. As Earth grew larger in their view screen, Rodriguez sent one final encrypted message to military command. First contact compromised. Coalition hostile. Implement broken mirror protocol. Then, to her crew. History will remember this as the day the aliens made their first and greatest mistake. They threatened humanity and expected surrender. The shuttle descended toward the night side of Earth, invisible against the darkness of space, carrying the spark that would ignite humanity's most defining conflict.